Morning, everybody. I'm back online because obviously the Attorney General has remained silent. And the Attorney General has shown all of you contempt for the law by failing to prove his line of authority to his rule of law. When questioned upon it, he went silent. He then told all of his office staff not to talk to me. He refused to address the rule of law. He knows damn well that he's in the position that makes all judges and magistrates across the country create a contempt against you. You're all suffering in courts of law that are failing to uphold the Constitution. This Attorney General is refusing to answer the questions under Section 78B continuously. All courts are refusing to act in a constitutional right, and all courts are refusing to argue any constitutional matters because they don't operate under our Constitution. So, Attorney General, you will stand up. You will answer everybody. You have no choice anymore. You have been proven to have taken an oath of allegiance outside of the Constitution Act and have no lineage to the Constitution Act. This makes you a foreign power, Attorney General. This puts you on the other side of the Hague Convention's Attorney General, where we have a right of family, you aren't allowed to pillage, and you're locked into rules of usufruct for the purposes of administration. And it's about time you recognise this fact. You have judges across the country recognising Australians and denying them in court. Recently, a judge recognised a red ensign, a federal Australian flag, and told a person, so what? I had a judge in a courtroom tell me God did not exist in his courtroom. But you have an oath under the blessing of Almighty God. But you act outside of the gods of our fathers, Judges 2:12, don't you, Attorney General? You have become a cretin, a liar, a thief, a fraud. You have defrauded the people. You have lied to them about justice. I don't mince my words anymore, Attorney General. You want to go around destroying Australians' lives like mine. I told you to go and look at my history, and I told you I wasn't going away, and I meant it. You don't come along and destroy people's whole entire lives, including their health, just to defend yourselves. The people will find out eventually what happened to me. I have never spoken about it, but you know at the very core of what you all did to me, it's an embarrassment to you. That's one of the reasons I never stopped. You are a pack of liars. You are a pack of thieves. You are a pack of con artists. You are outside of my Constitution. You are not in law to this country. You work for a foreign power, and you commit war crimes doing it every single day. I don't mince my words. You force personation of people into a foreign system of law. You commit a war crime doing so. You have just gone against the recovery of debts under the Hague Convention's Article 1, the use of force to collect debts. What do you do in courtrooms, you cretin? You lie about that oath, and you push personation on people under a foreign oath, taking them out of their rule of law and into your defrauded rule of law. You owe me answers, Christian Porter. You owe me answers as to why you act for and behalf of a foreign power. You owe me answers as to why you act out of a foreign rule of law. You owe me answers as to why you act under a foreign sovereign. I don't mince my words, Mr. Attorney General Christian Porter. You are now obligated to the Governor-General, and the Governor-General knows damn well he has to shut down your government. You are not in lineage to the Constitution Act. You are not our government. You are a foreign power sitting in our government. You shut down the seat of government under Gough Whitlam in 1973. The seat of government under Section 125 linked to the King's Domain in Melbourne was shut down by you in 1973. You are a foreign power in my government. And under the Hague Conventions, I have a right to be loyal to my Anzac and not you. You are in foreign oath. Not my oath, not my constitution, not my crown, not my kingdom, not this Commonwealth. And you know it. So why should we act in your rule of law? When Hague Conventions, the Geneva Conventions and the laws of armed conflict all demonstrate my right to be loyal to my Anzac and tell you, fuck off. That's my right by international treaty and law, Christian Porter, to recognise my oath, to recognise my lineage, to recognise the de jure at which you occupy. And under those Hague Conventions, you are obligated to protect me as a prisoner of war. 1958 Geneva Conventions. Now, under the 1949 Geneva Conventions, you're obligated to all international treaties that you have signed since 1907. So get with the program, Attorney General. You have lots of laws locking you in play. International treaties that stand between a de jure power and an occupying de facto power. Now, if we stand in the de jure, Christian Porter, and recognise you as that occupying de facto power outside of oath, a foreign power, under the Hague Conventions, what obligations have we got to you? None. Under the Hague Conventions, what obligations have you got to us? The right of family. You installed the Family Law Act to destroy the right of family, take from the father, take the children from the family estate, and make them all wards of your state. You've done that. You installed the Family Law Act 1975 going against the Hague Conventions on the right of family. You installed the Family Law Act 1975 going against all laws. You are a divider of families, and you use foreign legislation under a foreign crown, under a foreign corporate entity to do that. And the Hague Conventions tells you very clearly you're not to do that. So you're committing a war crime. Now, on war crimes, you force people into courtrooms against their will for the collection of debts. You are using armed policy enforcers of the state to collect debts. You are also creating a war crime here. Hague 4, War on Land, 1907, on the collection of debts. Installed in Australia on the 26th of January 1910. You are not to use force to collect debts. You are not to use arms, guns, tasers, etc. to collect debts. And you do. So now that you now recognise where we come from, where we stand, and how we question you, You might now start to realise I don't make the war crimes up. 1949 Geneva Conventions were written before I was born. And you are obligated to those conventions which state that you are obligated to all international treaties signed. All of them. And you fail them. Don't you, Attorney General? That's why you went silent. You are a war criminal. A dirty, disgusting, defrauding, cretin piece of shit. War criminal. You're no better than Slobodan Milosevic. Now I'll point out very clearly in the Slobodan case, Attorney General, the UN had no say. He was taken to The Hague and locked up in a Hague jail cell. And he complained that this court case wasn't brought by the UN General Assembly, and the UN General Assembly couldn't say anything. He committed a war crime. And you are doing that daily to all Australians. And guess what? You just got caught. Your judges show that contempt every day. How dare you show us, the people of this country, the contempt you've shown us by going silent. How dare you, in a position of power as the Attorney General of Australia, deny any response to all Australians by going silent? Are you not showing contempt by doing so? Are you not also showing all Australians that you are above the law by not adhering to it? Are you not showing all Australians you disregard their lineage, their constitution and the oath of allegiance? And are you not showing all Australians that as per the Promissory Oaths Act where you are to vacate office immediately and don't? It amazes me, Attorney General, that you refuse to answer. It amazes me that you went and looked at my life and you went, fuck, silence. You harmed me. You destroyed me. You took everything I was. And you didn't realise. You can't take my brain. You can take my wealth, my health, my home, my car. You can take it all. But you can't take my brain. And my brain says, answer up, you cretin. Get up on a public podium and answer this country for the crimes you are committing every day. Get up on a podium and apologise to the people and step down. You are outside of office. You are outside of oath of allegiance. You are committing treason doing so. Do you act for Australians or do you act for the bank? The time to tell them all is now. Because I'm telling them all you act for the bank. You act for a foreign power. You don't act under our Constitution. You never took an oath to the lineage in our Constitution. You never took an oath to our Crown. You never took an oath to our Commonwealth. And you certainly don't act in the United Kingdom of Australia so formed by our Anzac. You disregard our Anzac. You dishonour our Anzac. And you allow the oppression of the remembrance of our Anzac through your councils, who are also in oath of allegiance to the same entity you are. So it's become clear. You must answer the people, Attorney General. You got no choice now. You met Steve. You messed my life up. And I'm not going away until you get up on a public platform and you explain to people your rule of law and you defend it. And when you can't, you step down immediately for being outside of the Constitution Act. And if you can If you think you can stand there as an occupying power after that fact, I hope they warm a jail cell for you, Christian Porter. You know damn well what you're doing. You put it all in writing. You put it all on the public record. And a jail cell seems mighty fine for a man like you. You're a criminal.